Foodie, hi everyone, it's Anna the Keto Foodie here. How did I do my 6th week back on keto? Stick around and find out. Alright, so 6 weeks back on keto. This week, I did not lose anything, but I didn't gain anything either. And I know where it's coming from, so it isn't a surprise. And there were a few things that were the reasons for it. First of all, I feel that I had a very, well, not I feel, I know I've had a very stressful week last week at work, not in a bad way, but just very busy, very long days. And stressful in that things needed to get done and things needed to be prepared, and a lot of stuff was going on at the same time. Now, if you've seen some other videos regarding stress and how that affects weight loss, you'll see that the more stress you have, the more cortisol is released. When cortisol increases, the adrenal glands aren't happy. When the adrenal glands aren't happy, the thyroid isn't happy, and my thyroid is already unhappy, so it does not need any further provoking. So I feel that that definitely did contribute to it a bit. But the other two, I think, helped along. So the second thing was that if you saw my video for last week, which I'll link to up here, you'll notice that we didn't really track our macros for a while, and I really meant to be get right back on it back last Monday, and I would track it during the day, but I didn't really track it at night once I got home, and that's a big no-no for me. I should learn. I should know this by now, but didn't track it, so that has pretty much also gotten the best of me for this weekend, especially since this weekend I've been snacking a lot, and even though I do intermittent fasting and I don't usually eat until about noon, then even though I've done that, especially over the weekend, I snacked, and I snacked until I went to bed, which was usually somewhere 11 o'clock or midnight. So not getting the most out of my intermittent fasting because I wasn't fasting for long enough, and I was snacking the entire way through. Bad me. Because it doesn't work for me. I can't be a snacker. And then the third thing that happened last week was that I had some friends over from Australia, and a bunch of us got together and went out. And even though my husband and I looked at the menu ahead of time and prepared, we knew exactly what we wanted to get for our mains and for our starters, and we did. By the time it got to the dessert, I thought I was being really cool, and I was very proud of myself that I went, ooh, I'm just gonna get the cheese board. Thinking, well, it's just gonna be a few pieces of cheese and I'll share it with my husband. And it came out, and that was a stonking sized, it was like practically a cheese wheel on a cutting board. There were 4 huge pieces of cheese. This easily was for 2 people. I thought it was for 4. So we just looked at each other and ate the cheese. But not only was there cheese, there were grapes, there was chutney, and there were crackers. So yeah, you've got crackers in front of you on your plate on something that's meant for you because you ordered it. Yeah, I had a weak moment, and we ate the crackers as well as the grapes. Haven't had fruit in quite a while, so oh, it was beautiful. Actually, I think I enjoyed the grapes more than I enjoyed the crackers, but I still ate them. So those were, I think, the big 3 things. Oh wait, no, there's a 4th one. The other thing was that I didn't do any of my exercise classes last week because a lot of things were going on, and so I didn't get to do any of my exercise. And not only was I busy, but I was busy and I was sedentary, so I was sitting down for most of the time. So I really have not moved my body, not even what I normally move it during the week. So those 4 things, let's just say I'm glad it wasn't a gain, really. The fact that I maintained, woohoo! Again, not that I'm happy that I didn't lose, but it could have been worse. And that was my week this week. Right? And I'm sure you're probably out there and you've had some of those weeks where either you just kind of caved in, or you couldn't be bothered, or it's just been a stressful week. And all of that can really just get together and just make it so that it is just not a good week as far as the program goes. Interestingly enough, though, I did not kick myself out of ketosis at all. So although my measurement fluctuated, but I did not kick myself out of ketosis. So I am happy about that. That is one nice non-scale victory, I think, for me. It just goes to show that here and there, maybe once every few months, if I happen to have a meal and it is not on keto or it doesn't go as planned, I try to do it as keto as possible, keto as friendly as possible. But if it doesn't go to plan, the whole thing is not completely shot. The thing is to get back on track as soon as possible. And I did that sort of the next day, but still the snacking, so it didn't work out as well. This week I am back on track with tracking. So it is tracking everything religiously, measuring everything, making sure I'm getting my water. So that's going to happen this week. This week, like today, I had to work late, so I'm not. So I had to cancel my classes. Thursday is my first day back at my Zumba class, and then next week I start with all of my classes during the week. So it will be more moving my body, because I am the type of person that I can't just diet and lose weight. So you'll see, there are videos of people who are like, "Ooh, I've lost 50 pounds and I never had to do any exercise." That's great for them. Glad that worked. I am not that kind of a person. I have to at least move my body to some point. And if you're like that, then you need to move your body a bit more, even if it's just cleaning around the house, even if it's just going for a walk, which also reduces stress. So, hey, it works, two birds with one stone. So that's back on fully for next week. Now, the other thing that sort of came that I thought was very interesting off of this weekend, was my husband and I sort of came up with a bit of a test, because we have been talking about alcohol and alcohol consumption and how that might affect weight loss. And my husband, every so often, he's been having a couple of drinks, and his weight has been sort of very little, but up and down, right? And I said, well, maybe why don't we try a bit of a test? And what if for 1 week, and that's starting today, 1 week, you don't have any alcoholic beverages, and then next week we'll have specific measurements on specific days. But we'll be tracking all of the macros religiously. You'll know exactly what you're having and how much you're having. So that's the second week. The third week, we're going to go back to not having any alcohol at all, but not really tracking the macros the way that we normally have been. And then the fourth week, still not tracking the macros the way you normally are, not religiously, just kind of eyeballing it and going, more fat, less carbs. And then having the same amounts of alcohol at the same times or on the same days, and seeing how each one of those might affect his weight loss. I thought that was a very interesting bit of a hopefully scientific test. So if you're interested in that, keep following us. I'll post or I'll film updates for each of those every week and show you how he's doing and what we sort of figure out from that. And that has been my week. This week, not so much stressful at work, but still very busy. That's okay. So I feel like I'm back on track. Yay. So again, stick around if you're interested in that bit of a science experiment. And again, 4 weeks from now, we'll have the final. That's been my week. If this video was interesting or even thought-provoking, then please click on the thumbs up. if you would like to find out when I next post my videos, then please click on the subscribe button and also ring the bell. And then you'll be notified whenever I update my videos. But that's it for me for now, and I'll see you next week. So have a great week. Oh, don't forget, Foodie Friday. So I'll have another recipe up this Friday. And last Friday I had my keto chocolate and walnut mug cake. So if you haven't seen that one, it's linked there. But this Friday I'll have another recipe up for Foodie Friday. So I hope to see you then as well. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for sticking with me. And until next time, I say foodie bye. Foodie bye, everyone.